Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Krista.
Hi, I'm Liz.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
going to be your therapist today. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm really excited to get to know you and just talk with you. So I hear that you're thinking about making a change. That's basically all I know. So do you want to fill me in? What's going on with you?
Yeah. So I'm in college, and I live in Chicago with my parents.
Okay.
And so I'm up here for the school year, but I've been going home for the summer doing just jobs back home. But I think this summer I'm really looking to kind of finally move out of my parents' house and stay up here. So
You're leaving your parents and you want to live here like permanently? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just kind of finally make the move out of my parents' house for good.
Ooh, wow, that's a big step. You
Yeah.
must be very independent. So like what kind of steps what led you to making that big decision?
Well, actually, I just kind of started thinking about where I wanted to work this summer, and there's a lot of opportunities up here in Grand Rapids that I know about from school and such, and so I started looking at that, and then I started thinking about, well, I don't know, like my parents kind of expect me to come back, and I just decided that I think I'm ready. Like I've kind of been seeing signs of it in other ways that I'm ready to just kind of step away from my parents in a bigger way. But so I think this would be a good way to do that.
That's cool. Do you think are you nervous at all about what your parents are gonna think about that? Do you think it's gonna cause any tension or not really?
I don't think it will be an issue. I think it'll be an adjustment for my mom. My mom is very used to having me around, and she looks forward. We're very close, so she's always really excited when I'm coming home. But it will take some adjustment, just because I was the last kid, and I've always been closest with my mom, just because I'm the only girl. So I think it'll be hard for her, almost maybe like she's losing me again. You know, like she's becoming an empty nester again.
Right.
But other than that, it's not going to be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. I think
Right. Are you nervous about like doing that yourself? Are you anything holding you back? Like you personally nervous?
It'll be new. It'll be different. I'm really excited. I mean, I live up here with girls, a few other housemates anyway, so it's not like that will be any different. My life won't be any different. It'll just be interesting knowing that I'm not going to be going back to live there. Because I've always known that, you know, like you live in the dorms or whatever on campus, and then you go home for the summer. But like now that I have a house, it's not going to be that different other than that.
Okay, that's awesome. So you're planning on moving out this summer, right? Am I hearing you correctly? Good. Have you like made any steps toward that? Do you have a place to live or like anything like that?
I do have a house. I live in a house now, and we're moving in a few months. But yeah, so I have a house that I'll be living in.
Good. That's awesome. And are there going to be people staying with you in the summer too, or are you just going to be by yourself?
I will have a few of my housemates there during the summer. Not all of them. I'm going to be living with 4 other girls, so I think 2 of them will be there. So there will be people around, yeah.
Okay, that sounds fun. So are there any like other steps that you need to take in order to make this transition? Like, is there anything, what do you still have to do?
I guess my parents know that I'm not coming back for the summer. And that took me a while to tell them. I was kind of like, well, maybe I'll come back to Chicago. I'm going to look in Grand Rapids just because my professors are able to get me the hookup with some jobs. But, so I told them that, yeah, hey, I think I'm going to stay in Grand Rapids for the summer. But I haven't mentioned that I think, like, I haven't told them that I think I won't be, like, I don't plan on coming back.
Okay.
Like, hey, this is actually, like, last summer was my last summer home.
So I'm kind of picking up on, like, hesitation there. Like, what's that about?
Yeah, I guess I just don't want to. I can already see that it's going to be a transition for my mom just not having me home for the summer. So I kind of feel like, well, why break the news now? You know, like, why put that on her further?
Okay.
You know, I don't want to, like, leave her with hope that I'm going to come back next summer. But I think I would rather just have her, like, live without me for a while and get used to me not being home in the summer and then tell her, like, hey, I don't think I'm going to come back again. Yeah. I don't know. That's just kind of what I've been thinking.
So it sounds like you're pretty confident in this decision for this summer. Is there any part of you that would go back home? Like, I'm weighing the pros and cons here. Is there any, like, part of you that might just stay at home this summer in Chicago?
You mean part of me that wants to?
Yeah, or just part of you that would. Like, what is good about staying at home?
Yeah.
Versus staying here?
Well, in the past, all of my high school friends have been there, and they are still my best friends to the day. And some of them live up here. But, so that, like, last summer, that was awesome being home because I worked away from school, or away from home 2 years ago. So last year was really nice just to have that community again and kind of get away from, like, the people, not get away from the people at school, but, like, go back to what I know, and it's familiar, and I love Chicago. Like, I grew up there my whole life, so it's familiar, and it's home. So I'm confident in the move, but at the same time, it's going to be new, knowing, I'm not sad about it, but it is something that I kind of feel like I haven't really grappled with at all. Like, I just kind of try not to think about it a little bit.
It sounds like you guys are really close friends and you have, like, a really strong friendship to stay so close for such a long period of time. So you mentioned that they were home last summer. Are they not going to be home this summer? Is that, is that kind of drawing you to stay here in Grand Rapids a little bit more?
I had already been thinking about it, but then I found, one of my best friends is going to be in Wisconsin. One of my best friends is going to be up here, and then like another one is going to work at a camp. So it's kind of like the summer where none of us are going to be returning. So I more found that out after the fact, but that does help.
Right. So we're putting more points on the stay in Michigan category here. So going back to kind of the pros and cons list that we have set up, like, are there any other pros of staying at home in Chicago?
Free housing.
Yeah.
Compelling. Free housing, and just, I love my family, and, like, it's really, it's good for me to be with my mom, just because I feel like she's a little bit in a weird stage right now. My dad travels a lot, like 3.5 weeks out of every 4. So
wow, that must be hard for her.
Yeah, and I can tell by the way that, like, my mom will always, she texts me all the time, which when I was, when I'm like a freshman or a sophomore or whatever, that's more okay, because, I'm still transitioning away, but, like, now I've been gone for years, and so that's a pro. What was I even saying?
We were talking about the pros of you staying at home, and it sounds like it's going to be hard for your mom.
Yeah, yes. So that's something that, like, just for me to be there, supporting her would be, that would be great. But I can't do that and be more independent at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it looks like our time is almost done for our session, and I think we're at a good stopping place right now. So thank you so much for meeting with me. Sounds like you're on a good path and you kind of know what you want to do. And I think maybe next time we can explore that a little bit more, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Did it just die?